Instead of trying to build your midterm rental business from scratch, there is a way that you can fast track your way to working with other businesses to increase your occupancy and profitability. My name is Ruben Kanya. I am a temporary housing specialist where I've helped multiple hundreds of investors nationwide land the most lucrative deals by working with B2B, specifically with a niche in insurance. And in this video, I want to show you a way that you can actually fast track getting started into this space rather than trying to do all of the other things that may seem like will help you gain traction from a business one-on-one perspective that are just not going to get you there the fastest. Because I believe truly in this day and age that we don't have an information problem. We have a organization of what actually comes first problem, because there's just thousands of different ways to do things. And the question is, which one do I do first? So if you're just getting started, I'm going to show you how to do that. And that is what we're going to cover in this video. So what am I even talking about to begin with? What does fast tracking midterm rental contracts from other businesses even mean? Well, let's break it down for a second. What is a midterm rental? We know a midterm rental is a 30-day stay or more. And the reason why some operators actually like that more than the short-term rental, which one could argue that short-term rentals are still maybe just neck to neck, a little bit more lucrative depending on which side of the equation you're on. We actually find that midterm rentals are actually more lucrative than short-term rentals, and that is because of who we choose to work with and where they are looking for us. Very keywords. Now let's talk about the type of midterm rental that I'm going to talk about and the type that I'm not going to talk about. The type of midterm rental that I am talking about and that I'm very passionate about is the one that gets us the most lucrative deals and the one that gets us repeat business. And that's by going B2B versus going B2C. Now, what is the difference between the two? I actually have more videos in my channel about that. But briefly, B2B is going business to other businesses. You being the business, because as soon as someone lays their head on one of your pillows in one of your homes, you are officially in the hospitality business, and you're doing business with another business who are looking to relocate families, individuals, professionals, workers in housing. And now you're in the temporary housing umbrella B2B, which I love more personally than the business to consumer side. Now, why do I love it more? Well, because the math is the math, and men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And I'll tell you one more. Business to consumer is great. You know, you could have a traveling nurse, you could have a traveling professional, you could have it for leisure, even if it's a 30-day stay. The only thing that I don't love about it is that it's still a one-off transaction, which means that you might be coming in town for the next 3 months, and after you're done, you're out. Versus if I work with a company where I have a family moving for 3 months, guess what they're gonna have the next month? Or guess what other requests they might have? More individuals they need to relocate, because what they do for a living, the way they keep the lights on, the way the businesses actually stay afloat is actually by relocating families, right? And so that's the niche that I want to go into, whether it's families, whether it's travel nurses, whether it's doctors, whether it's construction workers. I like going the B2B route for the reason that I am expected and can anticipate getting repeat business once I foster a relationship with the right company. Now, the next question is, okay, great. Where do we get started? Do we start with a website? Do we spend thousands and thousands of dollars doing a website? No, I don't think so. Do you spend time doing a search engine optimization so that when people look in your zip code, your name pops up first? You could, but I believe there's even a faster way that can remove all the clutter, for lack of better words, and all the friction that can give you an opportunity to stand in the way of traffic than trying to build the traffic to come to you, right? Disclaimer: leverage the platforms that exist today because they have proven track record traffic. If you ask me, Ruben, would you rather have your own website or list on Airbnb? I would say I would rather list on Airbnb. Why, Ruben? Why would you say such a thing? Is because Airbnb gets hundreds of millions of visitors per month, right? And that's not just to highlight Airbnb, it's the highlight the very same thing with Furnish Finder, it's the highlight the very same thing with all these platforms that exist. But there is even one that we overlook because you're not familiar with this space, and this is what I want to share with you. If you're currently getting value from watching this video, you'll want to make sure you take a second and click below to grab the midterm rental insurance blueprint to help accelerate your process in being able to land these midterm rental insurance contracts with respect to your marketplace. Make sure you click the button below and grab it and continue on with the gems in this video. There is such a thing as going into the backyard of these actual relocation companies. What does it mean to go into their backyard? It means a place where they're already planting seeds, where they're watering a plant, where they have a garden, and they're looking for those individuals who want to be part of that garden. Now that's you. So that's if you have a furnished accommodation, yes. Lowest hanging fruit, certainly, no pun intended, Airbnb, Furnish Finder, Zillow, all those platforms. But how about the one of their very own company, is backyard, so that you are raising your hand as an operator and saying, hey, I want to do business with you. So what does that mean, Ruben? What do you mean by backyard? Can you just get straight to it? Yes. Backyard, aka, is their website. Their website has an opportunity, if they're willing to, and if they are, most of them are, 90% of these companies are looking for inventory. So there is a place on their website where you can go ahead and submit your property so that you are saying as an operator, hey, I'd like to do business with you. And there is an advantage for them to do business with you because you're saying that you want to do business with them, and they don't have to go through the friction of trying to educate other people in the marketplace of here's how we can actually do business with you. We're a relocation company, we have these housing. They'd rather work with people who understand how they do business. That creates a seamless transactional experience and saves everybody time. So the best thing that you can do is make sure that you're planting seeds in their backyard where they're already looking. A lot of these companies don't own any inventory, right? Now, this is, again, we're talking tier one relocation companies. They relocate families, therefore they source other properties. They source operators like you. They need you. They depend on you. And I like that, right? A consumer may not depend on you. They may only depend on you for their stay, but they don't depend on you for a long time. These companies depend on reliable inventory. And so when you do provide that inventory for them the first time, there's a good chance they're going to come back the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, and so on and so forth, because you've proven yourself as an operator that can deliver. And that goes a long way with business to business because it's a compound effect for every stay that I have versus not having a compound effect on the business to consumer, because every time I get somebody or consumer that stays on my property and they leave, I start from scratch again, right? You go back to hunting again for business, right? I like to hunt and then be rewarded for my previous kill, right? Rather than starting from scratch over and over again. And that's what B2B offers. So Ruben, makes sense. Got it. You're probably with me. The math is probably mathing, right? But where do I start? So what do you mentioned websites. I still don't understand what it means. A lot of these websites have portals and what they call databases on the side. So when we say, someone says we'll add you to the database, it's just a fancy word for a list of operators that will be available. That, again, you don't, even if you're not available, I encourage you to put your property in there because it's only a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So don't freak out if you enter your property in their database and you don't hear from them today or tomorrow, because it's always respect to the amount of demand in your respective marketplace and zip code. So it's in your best interest to enter your property in their database, aka website, aka portal, aka database. They're all the same thing. I just want to make sure I'm using aka so you understand that there's a difference, because once you do enter your property into their database, it's, again, like I said, not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And there's a good chance that it will align up with when you have a vacancy. And if not, guess what? You still have the relationship for the next one, right? So that's where you want to start before you do your business cards, before you do a website, before you do all of that. I started landing these contracts without even having a sound website. And many operators across the nation are doing the same, but that's because They are doing what we call in marketing 101 is standing in front of the traffic instead of building the traffic. An example of that is this video that you're watching. There's a good chance that you were actually searching for how to fast track your way to landing midterm rental contracts from other businesses. You're already interested in this content, and therefore, I didn't need to build the audience. The audience already exists, which is you. You need occupancy, you need profitability. And because you're looking for that, I made a video that would hopefully answer some of your questions of how you can actually get this process started in your backyard so that you can land these kind of midterm rental insurance contracts or other B2B contracts, anything in that nature. And for this reason, I didn't have to pay an ad on YouTube. I didn't have to work on search engine optimization. Well, I guess I could have within the search engine, but the truth is you are already looking for this content and I've created it. And that is the exact same approach that you want to take with these relocation companies because they are already looking for operators like you. So it is in your best interest to get in front of them to say that I want to do business with you. And it doesn't have to be today. It doesn't even have to be tomorrow. It's someday. And you know what? It might very well be today as well, because there's a good chance they could be looking. And the thing that you could miss out on if you don't do this and have a sense of urgency is the fact that they were looking for something in your backyard today, right? So timing is everything. Action takers are money makers. Make sure that you understand where to list the properties. Now you're gonna be like, Ruben, you're all this is making sense, but I still don't know where to go. The best thing I like to do is teach my operators how to fish instead of giving them a fish. So I want you to actually get familiar with the type of queries that would allow you to actually find these kind of relocation companies in your own backyard. Because the truth is, there's going to be so many. By the time I finish recording these videos, there could be another one that pops that I've never even heard of. As a matter of fact, there are so many people within my mentorship program, within my investment pool community, where we actually share insights of the companies that they're closing with, because there's so many. They're the big ones. I would say with the big ones, right? Like, the CRSs of the world, the ALE solutions of the world, the Alacrity solutions of the world, the Cedrics of the world. But then there's the tier 2, which are just as important as tier 1, because we don't even know their names. By the time you're looking at this, there's a chance there's going to be so many different names in your marketplace that are popping up here and there. And there's also mom and pop business owners like us who also are doing this play, which is probably another video for that as well. But remember, all these relocation companies source properties like yours. They don't own any inventories. And for that reason, you need to be part of the solution of their problem, because part of Business 101 is solving a solution to the problem, the need to the problem, and an ongoing need, because these businesses, quite frankly, keep the lights on by having operators like you who have inventory, whether you own, whether you manage, whether you control, keyword control, some even arbitrage as well. They need the inventory. They need you in order for them to keep the lights on. And these are not businesses that are struggling. Some of these are $10 to $100 million businesses that depend on operators that know they exist. And they are looking for operators who actually are willing to be in their database, because they know then it's less of a friction to try to go ahead and place a family in their home. So that is the best thing that you can do. And the best thing that you can do is to know where to seek more of them periodically, and periodically enter your name into their database. So here are 2 search keywords that I want you to actually think of when you're looking for these companies. Number 1, if you're looking on Google, or number 2 on ChatGPT, it's typing in, provide me a list of temporary housing companies or relocation agencies in blank market. Enter city, enter zip code, enter that. You can even go as far as, I like the ChatGPT search that says, find me companies, relocation companies that specialize in insurance housing, relocation companies that specialize in damages such as ALE solutions, right? In insert market, city, place, right? Insert place, insert city, insert state. Because now you're going to get a list, and that query in itself allows you to constantly just check in on any new companies that pop up here and there. Okay, that is one way that you can fast track to start landing midterm rental contracts from other businesses, specifically insurance. And once you know this, you can actually apply it to other verticals as well. I just know that I love to focus in on one vertical before I go broadly. If you choose to go broader, I should say, ahead of time, power to you. But I do think there's something about niching down before you niche broadly, which is another video for another time. However, you now have the tools and the skill set to then start to be able to land rental contracts from other businesses without needing a business card, without having a website, without ranking top in your marketplace with search engine optimization, but by simply living in the places that they are already looking, which is their backyard, their website, their brand. Let them know that you're in the business to do business with them. If you get value from this video, make sure you check out what you need to know about relocation specialists.